of October is an extraordinary month, not only because in many places, with the beautiful weather, it is the beginning of autumn in the northern hemisphere, but it's because it's full of feasts of saints and celebrates of the Virgin as well. The month begins with the feast of Saint Therese of Lisieux, the Warding Angels, and then Saint Francis, then the Virgin of the Rosary, and then the Virgin of the Pillar, and we'll end up shortly with the feast of Saint Teresa. So many saints, and the Virgin Mary above all of them, the Queen of the saints, the Queen of the angels. Today she presents herself to us under this title, the Day of the Pillar, remembering that wonderful providential encounter between the Mother of God and one of the apostles in the old Rome city, in Hispania, still Roman, Caesar Augusta, the current Saragossa. On the banks of the Ebro, there, according to the tradition, was the apostle, one of the two sons of the thunder, brother of Saint John, and therefore also very loved by the Virgin. There he was, after having tried to evangelize Spain and attempted the same Paul had possibly made before. So at least St. Paul tells on one of his letters, and of course St. James had not succeeded. The Hispanics, Roman Hispanics, or the still half the rebellion tribes of the north, had not been very sensitive to the preaching of the good news of the gospel. I don't know if it was because of that, or because of the weather, or whatever. The fact is, James was determined to embark on Saragossa. At the time, the Ebro River was still navigable, or at least navigable for certain types of boats, and to reach the mouth where he could take a large boat to cross the Mediterranean and return to Israel. Luckily, the Virgin stood in his way. She appeared on a column, hence the name of the Virgin of the Pillar. She appeared on a column and asked what was going on. He got it off his chest. I'm going back home. It was a failure. Your son, my Lord, commanded us to go and preach until the end of the earth. And the Finisterre, it's here, in this Roman Hispania. I have come this far. I've got to Galicia, and it's a disaster. No one has listened to me, no one. I don't speak their language. I don't understand their habits. These people are so different from us. Because in the end, St. James the Apostle was a Jew, so different. They love pork, for example. They are eating pork all the time. It's something that makes me disgust. As much as you can eat, everything is fondant for pork, ham. It is something that makes me very uneasy. They are very different people, very stubborn. They don't understand. They don't open up, and the Virgin said, you need to touch the key. I don't know if she really told this exactly. You need to touch the key. The Spanish are not like you think. They are very sensitive to a key, that of the heart. Touch that key. Surely Jen told her, as, how? I don't understand. I am a man, a rab fisher from Galilee. How can I touch the key of the heart? The Virgin said to him, but perhaps you have forgotten that I am with you, and you have forgotten that I love you very much. You have forgotten that besides your mother, you have me as your mother. Talk to them about me. Talk to them about the mother of Jesus, not only about the Jesus. Talk to them about the mother of Jesus. That's the key of their heart. And what exactly happened on the very day this took place on October 12th was what happened next in 1492, when the descendants of those hard-headed, brutal Hispanics arrived in the land of what will later be known as America.
Llegaron a las tierras de lo que después sería conocido como América.
The key of the heart was touch. The evangelization in Mexico not advanced, or advanced very slowly, until the Virgin Mary appeared on the hill of the Tepeyac. And that bishop, when he saw the tilma of San Juan Diego, identified it with the name of an old Spanish vocation, with the Virgin of Guadalupe. From that moment on, those terrible towns, the Aztecs, were not easy, not at all. They had an enormous fondness for killing. But those hard towns, with the key of the heart, opened wide open for the new evangelization. Mary is the start of evangelization. Mary is the key that touches our hearts and opens us to God. Mary is our support, our pillar, our column, our refuge in the bitter and difficult hours. She is the key of our heart that opens to us to God. How many times these days I hear and I read mails that I receive from people who are suffering so much. There are always many people who are suffering, but I believe in this moment of pandemic is intensified suffering because of death, disease, lack of work, so horrible, and sometimes even more than a death, because it is a living death. All these people who are suffering are not only looking for an answer to their questions, they are looking for a comfort. And it's in her, in the Virgin, where they can find the comfort they need. Perhaps they will not be able to find a job, or they will not be able to find help. In some cases, even that miracle, the Virgin gets from her Son. But they find comfort. Who like me, says the Virgin, to anyone who suffers, to understand your suffering? Who like me? I know what it's like to lose a child. I know what it's like to have to run away to avoid having a child killed. I know what it's like to feel humiliated and offended for being the mother of your child. I know what it's like. I understand you. Lean on me. Rest on me. Trust in me. There is a beautiful psalm, very beautiful, that it says, I, like a child, rest in the arms of the mother. I don't pretend greatness, says the psalm. I don't pretend greatness. I rest like a child in the arms of my mother. In reality, the text says, I rest like a new breastfed child in the arms of the mother. A newly breastfed child, a child that just eaten, that had just drunk the mother's milk. That child fell asleep once in the arms of his mother. I don't claim the greatness beyond my capacity, but I silence and I model my desire. Like a newly breastfed child in the arms of my mother. Those arms of my mother are my column, my support. And I have to imitate that child and receive the comfort that comes from the arms of my mother. To say the Lord, like that child, I trust you, because you have sent your mother to take care of me as she took care of you. We ask the Virgin of the Pillar to sustain us in our struggles, to encourage us not to give up, and we abandon ourselves in her protection as a mother. We abandon ourselves as a newly breastfed child in the arms of the mother, to continue fighting, to go on, knowing how the Apostle James learned to successfully knowing that we are not alone. So be it.